Hare Krishna, welcome devotees to the Gita Daily session. So today we'll be discussing Bhagavad Gita, Sloka number 6 from chapter 15. So let's take the blessings of the Lord Jagannath Baldev Subhadramaya Sudarshan Lakshmi Narasimhadev Gaurnitai Panchadatta. Let's pray that by their blessings we shall understand the transcendental topics of Bhagavad Gita. So let's recite the prayers together. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhudale Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Itinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gauravaktaranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So let's dedicate a session to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness, by whose mercy we are able to understand Bhagavad Gita in an easy way and also able to apply it in a practical way. So let's thank Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So let's recite the shloka together, 15:6. Please repeat along with me. You can remain muted. न तद्भाषयदो सूर्यो न शशाङ्को न पावकः यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धामा परमं मम रेपिटेशन् न तद्भाषयदो सूर्यो न शशाङ्को न पावकः यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धामा परमं मम Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. That supreme abode of mine is not illuminated by the sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world. Translation word to word meaning na, not, tat, that, bhashayade, illuminates, surya, the sun, na, nor, shashanga, the moon, na, nor, pavagaha, fire, electricity, yat, word, gatva, going, na, never, nivartante, they come back, tadama, that abode, paramam, supreme, mama, my. So let's look at the translation again. That supreme abode of mine is not illuminated by the sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world. So, yeah, so devotees, there is some issue with the network. I'm using my mobile data. Wi-Fi is not working. So, in case any issues, no, please stop me or let me know in the chat if there is a problem in the audio. Or this. so, so let's look at the shloka today in more detail. So last class we discussed, no, we started this 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, right? So we discussed this shloka, Nirmana Moha Jitasanka Dosha, Adhyatmanita Vinivartakama. So what was the last discussion? So in that shloka, the Lord actually was giving the qualities which are required for attaining the highest destination. Right? One should be free from false prestige, like illusion, attachment, lust, etc. So that we have seen last. So the Lord actually is saying in that shloka what qualities are required for one to reach the supreme abode of the Lord. And today's sloka, the Lord actually is giving some glimpse or hint about his supreme abode. What are the qualities of his supreme abode? So what actually the Lord says here? Nadat Bhashedo Surya. So here actually, it is not direct information. Like generally the Upanishads also, they also, we have discussed earlier, they give like hints about something. Like so some sutras or some formula or just hints. So in this sloka, the Lord actually is giving indirect information, right? So we'll see that what Lord is giving, and if we want to know the direct information, we need to get the information from the acharyas or pure devotees, right? So they can get more information. But in here we will see what Lord is saying. Natat bhashe de suryo. Lord is saying that there is no need of sun, right? That is because this it is mentioned that the spiritual worlds are self-effulgent, right? And then na shashanga na pavaga. So there is no need of moon. So basically, in our material world or in the earth, generally in the material world, in the daytime we need the sun, and in the night we need moon for no illumination, right? And then otherwise we need fire or electricity. So here Lord is saying that we need none of them. So in that spiritual world of the Lord, eternal abode, there is no need of sun, moon, fire or electricity, right? And then what says yad gatvan nivartan. Another characteristics of this place is that once one reaches there, they never come back to this material temporary world. Yad gatvan nivartande. Then he says that tad dhamam paramam mama. So that abode is my eternal abode or is the topmost abode. That is my supreme abode. So this way, the Lord actually, is giving some hints. So we'll look into in more detail. So basically, the Lord is talking about Vaikuntha planets, and specifically Goloka Vrindavan, the topmost of Vaikuntha planet. So what is Vaikuntha? So we have seen that material world is a place of misery, right? It is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, Dukkha Alayam Ashashvatam. So it's a place of dukkha, and it is temporary, right? We have seen that the material world is created and destroyed again and again, right? When Mahavishnu breathes out and breathes in. But actually, the spiritual world is beyond the material world, and it is known as Vaikuntha. Kunta is anxiety, and Vai means no. So that place, Vaikuntha, is a place without anxiety, and the material world is a place of full of anxiety. So it is mentioned. Material world is mentioned as Padam Padam Yat Vipatam, means Padam Padam. Every step there is danger or there is anxiety, right? So this is the characteristic of material world, and the spiritual world we have seen yesterday. That day before yesterday, that it is like a reflection, right? The material world is like an inverted reflection of the spiritual world. So the in the spiritual world there is no anxiety. So why do we need to know about the spiritual world, right? So this question may arise. So what Brahmaji says in Bhagavatam 15:24, Brahmaji says this point. Let us look at what Brahmaji is saying. So Lord Brahma said, "My dear demigod, the human form of life is of such importance that we also desire to have such a life." So demigods are saying they also want to take the human form. Why? For in the human form, one can attain perfect religious truth and knowledge. Because in the higher planetary system, there is more enjoyment, like in Swarga, etc. So, but in material world, in human form, the chance of getting liberation is the highest, right? And further, what Brahmaji says, if one in this form, human form of life, does not understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his abode. So abode is mentioned specifically, right? Which is spiritual world. It is to be understood that he is very much affected by the influence of external nature. So we need to develop an attachment or an understanding of the eternal abode when we are in the human form. We have to understand the Lord and his activities, his abode, etc. Okay, so let's move further. So Prabhupada actually translates. In the translation, Prabhupada says, the Lord actually is talking about Krishna Loka or Goloka Vrindavan, which actually is the highest abode. In among the innumerable Vaikuntha planets, right? Because the spiritual world is mentioned as Tripada Vibhuti, right? And material world is called Ekapada Vibhuti. So which essentially means material world is one fourth of the creation, and the much more, three times the material world is the spiritual world. So the spiritual world is much much bigger than the material world, right? The material world itself is unlimited. We cannot measure the breadth and depth of the material world, right? There are unlimited universes, but the spiritual world is much bigger, right? And among all the different Vaikuntha planets, there are innumerable of them. There are countless. The topmost is considered as Goloka Vrindavan, where actually the Lord is residing in his original form, right? The Lord has various expansions we have seen, no? And the original Krishna is known as Swayam Bhagavan. We have seen it multiple times. We discussed, the Lord actually as a cowherd boy is the original form of the Lord, right? And in that form, the Lord actually is residing in the Goloka Vrindavan, right? And he is eternally enjoying various pastimes with his associates, right? And this Goloka is known as Goloka is known as so because it is full of cows, right? So the Lord actually the cows are the most dear to the Lord, and the Goloka actually is full of cows. So it is mentioned. Acharya says that whenever Krishna comes, into the material world, actually he tries to show a trailer or a glimpse of his pastimes. So so that we become attracted. So whatever the Lord does actually, as Krishna comes, no, he had many cowherd boys, no. So the cows, so many cows were. Nanda Maharaj had so many cows, right? So every day morning he used to graze, go to the forest to graze the cows. In the evening they come back. When they and during the in the forest he has various pastimes, so they are full of happiness and enjoyment. And when they come back, all the gopis and gopas, they are eagerly waiting for the Lord to return. So this way he gives a trailer so that get an idea how the spiritual world is. So these are the things Lord performs his pastimes when he comes are wonderful, and no, they actually are performed so that the jiva become attracted to that, and then they develop a desire to associate with the Lord. So that's why it is important that we should read the scriptures, read Srimad Bhagavatam, understand the Lord's pastime, through Acharya. So Acharyas are able to go into the secrets, because if Bhagavatam somebody reads, or Bhagavad Gita somebody reads, it is not necessary that always we get into the depth, right? Sometimes, Acharyas say that it is like licking the honey bottle. So the honey bottle is covered, glass bottle, and if you lick outside, you will not get the full thing. So, but and if you go with the Acharyas, pure devotees of the Lord, because they are very close to the Lord, and we have seen, some of the Acharyas or many of the Acharyas, they are Nityasiddhas. So they are eternally liberated. They are associates of the Lord in spiritual world, and they come along with the Lord. or no to perform pastimes, or they come from to a mission. So they understand the secrets, and when we understand the scriptures through acharyas, we are able to go into the depth of this knowledge, right? We are able to go into the confidential pastimes or confidential aspects of the spiritual path. So that is why now we have to go by the acharyas. So what else the Lord is mentioning? So His Lord says that it is eternal, no, it is never destroyed. That we have seen the material world is again and again destroyed. So it is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, Bhutva Bhutva Pralyate. No, again and again it is destroyed. So there are multiple devastations in the material world, partial and full. So we have already discussed that. So, but in spiritual world is never destroyed. It is eternal. It's never destroyed, even when the material worlds are destroyed. Right? So that way it is permanent. So that is the point. No, so how do we develop a desire to go to a place? No, so for example, nowadays there is a lot of advertisements comes, right? So like there are different packages, no, like going to different countries, right? So New Zealand, no, they say okay, they give like some pictures, no, some important attractions. So similarly, they show the different places in India also. No, they show different places like Kashmir. So they show some pictures. So this ad comes, so they gives a glimpse of the place. So while when we try to understand more about that place, no, when we see the pictures, when we try to understand more, then we develop a desire that we want to go back. So this spiritual world, according to the acharyas, is like our original hometown. So many times, when we come and live in a city, right, we always have this nostalgia. We may want to go back. When we meet somebody from our hometown, we become happy. So we some of us, we have that desire that someday we want to go back and settle there. Right, nowadays it is reducing because all places are like there is no more villages, etc. But then generally this nostalgia is there. So actually this spiritual world is our eternal abode. Somehow or other we are temporarily in this material world. Like we have just come here temporarily, and when we hear about this place, because we are forgotten, we have seen that example of the son who forgot the father, right? But when somebody reminds us about this place, then actually our memory, we can revive the spiritual world memory, and then we develop the desire, that no eagerness that we want to go back, right? So that way we can this information about the spiritual world help us, right, to actually develop that attachment. So today we will look at some shlokas which are related. So in Katha Upanishad, Katha Upanishad also it is mentioned, the same similar concept is mentioned. So there it mentioned na tatra suryo bhati na chandra taragam. So it is again the similar hint is given. No, there actually there is no sun, moon, or stars. Right? And Bhagavad Gita 8:15. So some of the 8:15 and 8:21 are shlokas we have already seen, but we'll just see that so that we understand again. No, the Lord actually is giving the hint about the spiritual world. It is not something cooked up or manufactured. No, the Lord actually talks about the spiritual world in Bhagavad Gita. So in the current shloka we are discussing plus some other shlokas. So 8:15, what Krishna says, Mamabhete punarjanma dukalayam ashashvatam napnuhandi mahatmana samsiddhim paramam gada. So Paramam Gada, this Paramam Gada is the topmost destination Lord is mentioning. So what Lord is saying here, after attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries, because they have attained highest perfection. Then 8.17, Avyakto Akshayadhyukta Stamahum Paramam Gadim. Again, Paramam Gadim is mentioned. Yam Prapyana Nivartande Tadama Paramamama. So here also the Lord talks about the Paramam. But there is no details. So you just tell that the Paramdama actually once you go, never come back. So what Lord says here, that which Vedantis describes as unmanifest and infallible, that which is known as the supreme destination, that place from which having attained it, never returns. That is my supreme abode. So this way the hints are only available. But the details we have to understand through the acharyas, their purports and translation. So into Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam 2:9-10, it is mentioned, in that personal abode of the Lord, the material modes of ignorance and passion do not prevail, nor is there any of the influence of goodness. So in the spiritual world, there is no the three modes. No, that is what the idea of spiritual path or the devotional path is, to transcend the three modes. Right? So this is confirmed here. And then there is no predominance of the influence of time. So this is an also very important aspect. So the time factor is not present in the spiritual world. So which actually is something which is beyond our understanding, but this we have to accept what the Acharya says. So basically, one understanding of the when there is no time, what it means, there is no this concept of janma mrityu jara. Right? Because of this time, the time is because of the time factor, we are actually becoming old. Right? We are born, become old, we have disease, and we have death. So this is influenced by that one of the influence of time. But in spiritual world, this time is absent. So people actually they are eternally in the youthful stage. Or whatever stage they are continuing to be in that state. It is never becoming. There is no concept of old age, disease, death, etc. In spiritual world. And then, so what to speak of illusion energy? So Maya is absent; it cannot enter that region. Without discrimination, both the demigods and demons worship the Lord as devotees. So this is in mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. So now what we do today, instead of the story, we will look at some important references of Vaikuntha planet, which are mentioned in this in the scripture. So we look at Srimad Bhagavatam and Brahma Samhita. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, uh, third canto, 15th chapter, there are many shlokas which is talking about Vaikuntha. So these are the Vaikuntha planets where Lord actually is present in the form of Narayana. So this is in the context of the story of the four Kumaras cursing the Jaya and Vijaya. So that you can just note down today. I'm not sure if I have time. We will come back. So the slokas from 13 to 23, right? So third canto, 15th chapter, shloka 13 to 23. So these shlokas describe about the Vaikuntha planets. What is the what is it? Some glimpse about the Vaikuntha it will give, right? So now we will look at Brahma Samhita, some shlokas, because if you have time, we will come back to Vaikuntha planets on in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Otherwise, please, you can go read it actually in Veda base. You can go to third canto, 15th chapter, shloka 13 to 23. Okay, so now let's look at Brahma Samhita. Okay, because so Brahma Samhita 5.6. I'll only read the translation. The Lord of Gokula is the transcendental supreme Godhead, the own self eternal ecstasies, self of eternal ecstasies. He is the superior to all superiors and is busily engaged in the enjoyments of transcendental realm and has no association with his mundane potency. So basically, here mention of Gokula is there directly. The Lord of Gokula, it is mentioned, right? Yeah. So now we'll move on to the next sloka, which is 5.26. So 5.26 says, Brahma, being desirous of satisfying Govinda, practiced the cultural acts of Krishna in Goloka, Lord of Shveradvipa, for a long time. His meditation ran thus: there exists a divine lotus of thousand petals, augmented by millions of filaments. In the transcendental land of Goloka, on its wall, there exists a great divine throne on which is seated Sri Krishna, the form of eternal effulgence of transcendental bliss, playing on his divine flute, resonant with divine sound. With his lotus mouth, he is worshipped by his amorous milkmaids with their respective subjective portions and extensions, and also by his external energy, who stay outside, embodying all mundane qualities. Then 29, 5.29. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor, who is tending the cows, yielding all desire in the abodes built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of purpose trees, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds and thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis. So here the shloka is Chinta Mani Pragara Sadmashu Kalpa Vriksha Lakshavardeshu Surabhi Ravipalayantam Lakshmi Sakasra Shadasam Pramyasevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So it is mentioned in the spiritual world that it is self-effulgent, and the land, the earth, the land is made of Chintamani stone. No, they are actually like they're full made of diamonds, jewels, like the Chintamani stone. So Chintamani stones like can fulfill any desire. And then it is mentioned Kalpa Vriksha Laksha. So it is also full of Kalpa Vriksha. So Kalpa Vrikshas are also desire fulfilling trees. So whatever we desire from the Kalpa Vriksha, we can get it. Similarly, Surabhi also is like that. No, whatever we desire, Kamadhenu. So whatever we desire, we can get. So this way, the spiritual world is full of opulence, right? And then there are so many Lakshmis, who are actually serving the Lord in the spiritual abode. So this way it is mentioned. Then 5.37, I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, residing in his own realm Goloka, with Radha, resembling his own spiritual figure, the embodiment of aesthetic potencies, possessed by 64 artistic activities, in the company of her confidence. Sakis, embodiments of extensions of her bodily form, permeated and vitalized by his ever so spiritual rasa. So basically, the Lord actually, is in the spiritual abode is always enjoying transcendental rasa with actually his various devotees in various bhavas. We have seen that like the topmost is known as Madhurya Bhav, which actually the Lord exchanged with the gopis. Then there is Sakya, which actually is Gopas, right? So then there is Vatsalya, which is parents. So this way, the Lord actually is continuously exchanging various pastimes, and it's ever blissful. And it is mentioned like Anandam Buddhivardhan. So basically, the bliss actually in spiritual world is always increasing. No, it is not like material world, which is fixed or limited. It is unlimited. It is mentioned. It's continuously increasing the bliss. So this way, the spiritual world actually is full of varieties, and then it is full of happiness. So this way, we get some glimpse about this spiritual world. Then the 56 is saying, I worship the transcendental seed known as Svetadibur as loving consort to Lakshmi in their unalloyed spiritual essence. Practice the amorous service of Supreme Lord Krishna in their only as their only lover. where every tree is a transcendental purpose tree, where the soil is purpose gem, all water is nectar, every word is a song, every gate is a dance. The flute is the favorite attendant, effulgence is full of transcendental bliss, and supreme spiritual entities are all enjoyable and tasty. Where numberless milk cows always emit transcendental oceans of milk, where there is eternal existence of transcendental time, who is ever present and without past or future, and hence is not subject to the quality of passing away, even for a space of half of a moment. That realm is known as Goloka only to a very few self-realized soul in this world. So this way, the details are given, and also it is mentioned it is very confidential. So now I'm not sure how much we have time. Let's quickly look actually, of the third kind of Srimad Bhagavatam, where, where Brahmaji is describing the spiritual abode of the Vaikuntha, where Lord Narayana form is there. So, so it is mentioned, like I'll quickly try to read. After thus traveling all over the universes, they also entered into the spiritual sky, for they were freed from all material contamination. In the spiritual sky, there are spiritual planets known as Vaikunthas, which are the residents of Supreme Personality of Godhead and His pure devotees, and are worshipped by the residents of all material planets. So, in the Vaikuntha planet, all the residents are similar in form to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They all engage in devotional service to the Lord without desires for sense gratification. So there is actually, we have seen that there are innumerable Vaikuntha planets where, where the Lord's various expansions are available, and the supreme planet Goloka, Vrindavan, where Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan. So the rasa is different actually, but in all the Vaikuntha planets are eternal. Anybody enters any Vaikuntha planet, they will never come back. They can eternally live there. So the other Vaikuntha planets, it's generally understood that, the devotees there, they worship the Lord in the mood of awe and reverence. They consider that it is not very intimate relationship. They have high respect, and then they worship the Lord there. So that way the mood is little different. No, but in spiritual world actually they consider the Lord among one among themselves, as friends like that. So in 15th sloka, in the Vaikuntha planet, this is a supreme personality of God, who is the original person and who can be understood through the Vedic literature. He is full of uncontaminated mode of goodness with no place for passion or ignorance. He contributes religious progress of the devotee. So this is Shuddha Sattva, pure goodness. In the Vaikuntha planet, there are many forests which are very auspicious. In the forest, the trees are desired trees. And in all seasons, they are filled with flowers and fruits because everything in Vaikuntha planets is spiritual and personal. In the Vaikuntha planet, the inhabitants fly in their airplanes, accompanied by their wives and consorts, and eternally sing of the character and activities of the Lord, which are always devoid of inauspicious qualities. While singing the glories of the Lord, they deride even the presence of the blossoming Madhavi flowers, which are fragrant and laden with honey. When the king of bees hums in the high pitch, singing the glories of the Lord, there is a temporary lull in the noise of the pigeon, the cuckoo, the crane, the chakravaka, the swan, the parrot, and the partridge, and the peacock. Such transcendental birds stop their own singing simply to hear the glories of the Lord. Although flowering plants like Mandara, Kunda, Kurabaga, Utpala, Champaka, Arna, Punnaga, Nagakeshara, Bakula, Lily, and Parijata are full of transcendental fragrance. They are still conscious of the austerities performed by Tulsi. For Tulsi is given special preference by the Lord, whose garlands himself with Tulsi leaves. The inhabitants of Vaikunta travel in their airplanes made of lapsi, lasuli, emerald, and gold. Although crowded by their consorts who have large hips and beautiful smiling faces, they cannot be stimulated to the passion by their mirth of the beautiful charms. The ladies in Vaikunta planets are as beautiful as the goddess of fortune herself. Such transcendently beautiful ladies, their hands playing with lotus and their legs bangled tinkling, are sometimes seen sweeping the marble walls, which are bedecked at intervals with golden borders in order to receive the grace of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So these Vaikuntha planets where Lord Narayana is present, no, it's full of opulences and majesty. And then they have awe and reverence in their worship. The goddess of fortune worship the Lord in their own gardens by offering tulsi leaves on the coral paved banks of transcendental reservoirs of water. While offering worship to the Lord, they can see on the water the reflection of their beautiful faces with raised noses, and it appears that they have become more beautiful because of the Lord's kissing their faces. It is very much regrettable that unfortunate people do not discuss the descriptions of Vaikunta planets but engage in topics which are unworthy to hear and which bewilder one's intelligence. Those who give up the topics of Vaikunta and take to the talk of material world are thrown to the darkest region of ignorance. So this way the Lord is explaining. The Lord Brahma said, "My dear demigod, the human form of life is of such importance that we also desire." This is what we discussed earlier. So this way, we can get some glimpse about the spiritual world, right? Understanding the spiritual world as place of eternal, eternal bliss. We can develop and attach. What is the takeaway? Let us wrap up. So we should not try to find happiness in this temporary world, right? We should gradually give up that propensity, because now we have seen that it is a reflection, and whatever attempts we make to find happiness here, it is not completely fruitful. No, because we are trying to pluck the fruit in the reflection, right? So but then there is, because the fruit reflection is there, that means that there's a real fruit in the spiritual world, and then there's a real happiness which actually the jiva is always seeking, because we are always seeking for that sachidananda, right? That happiness which is unlimited, because that is our original nature. The jiva swarup is anandamaya abhyas. So you want to always be happy, and we can't find it here. We are searching here and there but never able to find it. So understanding this higher principle, we should aim for that, right? And we should try to read more, understand, hear about the Lord, understand the Lord, his consorts, his pastimes, his activities, his abode. We should try to get more and more information, so that we gradually develop a strong desire, that we need to go there, we need to attain that place, right? So by that, actually, we automatically, our attachment to these temporary things should reduce with the time. So we have to take up the path. No, the goal is clear. No, we have to clearly understand the goal and accordingly work towards it. No, the acharyas are there to help us. So they have made this process how to attain this highest perfection. And Krishna also directly is talking in Bhagavad Gita, right? He is giving information. We have seen last many sessions. No, the Lord actually is giving a lot of information about what is superior to bhakti, right? How actually that is most topmost, and that can lead us to the topmost destination. So understanding all these things, we should not no, it should not be a theoretical knowledge, that just to understand and forget it. No, so we should always meditate on this knowledge and try to take up the path very seriously, so that we can attain the highest perfection. So that, I think, we'll end today's topic. Anybody has any questions, devotees? They can unmute and ask, or no, we can also discuss offline. Let us chant together 3 times. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So basically, we have seen the example, analogy of the boat, right? So the spiritual path, right? When we take the shelter of a guru or spiritual master, right? So essentially, we are taking the shelter of this, a boat, right? So the human body is the boat which we have got after many lifetimes, and this is the only boat which can cross this material existence, material ocean, and go to the higher spiritual realm, right? So we have got by luck, we have got this human body which is suitable boat, and we have, if we are lucky, we can seek out of a spiritual master and we can get a guru, right? And guru is like a captain who actually has already traversed this path. He knows how to take us back to Goloka. So the guru, when we have the guru, and then the scriptures are considered as the favorable winds, which actually which take the boat in the right direction. So this way, when we are fortunate, we can get all these things, and then by that fortune, we can attain the highest perfection. So all that we have to do is stick to the boat. Now all of you have joined this boat. So only thing which is required is that have patience and have the just stick to the boat. Actually, somehow or another, whatever happened, don't get out of the boat. Then sooner or later, it is ensured that we can attain the highest destination. So that this is given by the acharyas as assurance. So with that faith, we should progress. Okay, so then we'll end here today. If anybody has any question, they can offline reach out to me. Okay, so we'll end here. Thanks all devotees for joining regularly. Hare Krishna.